2025 has barely started and we already got ourselves our first look at DCU Batman. But buddy, oh buddy boy, it's a deceiving lie. Yeah, that's right. 2025 gonna be the year of 3C the Hater. All day long, people have been losing their minds that we finally got an idea of what Batman and Gotham are gonna be looking like in James Gunn's new DCU. And I'm sitting back like the Grinch on Christmas, looking side-eye like, guys, this is nothing like what it's gonna look like when it finally turns live action. But I won't be a complete hater. If this does end up being the design, I'll talk about what I like and what I dislike. But I do want to hear from you guys. This appears to be our first look and touch of DCU Batman. How much of this do you think is actually going to be an accurate representation of what Batman looks like when he premieres in Batman Brave and the Bold? Do you think this appearance also definitively debunks that Robert Pattinson's Batman won't be joining the DCU, since this looks nothing like his Batman, as well as any other thoughts you have about this? So I was getting ready to do my most anticipated movies of 2025 when this just hit me in the face and I couldn't help but to talk about it. So episode 6 of Creature Commandos just premiered, and in it we get the backstory of the Batman villain Phosphorus, and of course it includes what he was doing in Gotham and who put him in jail, none other than Batman, appearing for half a second. And oh man, look, I have so much to say. For one, I will say I'm loving Creature Commandos. It's a very enjoyable show, but I still watch the show with the thought in the back of my mind, this was made to be part of the DCEU. So almost anything we see happening here was meant for an old universe, but is now slightly repurposed to be the beginning of a new one.
I wrote the series before I took over as the head of DC. It was something that we had ready to go.
That's why I don't think it's a big coincidence when you zoom in on this big old boy Batman, he's bulkied up the same way Ben Affleck's Batman was, because this little cameo was supposed to be Ben Affleck's Batman at one point. Still though, James Gunn did say this about the episode.
When they first gave it to me, we saw a lot more Batman. And I was saying, I am not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. So I just like, more silhouette, more silhouette, more silhouette.
So whatever we do end up seeing, James Gunn has approved as we'll do that whenever it turns live action. And Batman himself doesn't have a lot of details. Like I said, he's a big bulky guy. I already see the people who want to fan cast Alan Ritchson to be the new Batman are going crazy because yeah, that's his body type, all right. As much as I've been pondering the whole Robert Pattinson joining the DCU rumors, I can look at this and say that's no Pattinson body. People then also point out this figure has the white eyes, so will DCU Batman then be rocking white eyes? I think that's a thing Batman fans have been begging for so long. We just want to see it happen, but also in animation that just looks best, and sometimes in live action it doesn't look all that great. Also seen some people say that they swear up and down they can tell this Batman is wearing trunks. I can't really see that for myself, but I would not be surprised if the Batman in the DCU ends up getting the trunks, since Superman also has the trunks. And if they're gonna do a situation where they're standing side by side, or they're doing a team-up movie like World's Finest, then yeah, give them both the trunks just for that symmetry. But speaking on Superman, James Gunn did reveal some details of Batman with him.
We're going to do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world. And I can't wait for people to see more of him, along with Superman. And together.
And honestly, that's just exciting to hear on its own, because I do think maybe that'll be a movie somewhere down the line. Instead of a versus film with Batman and Superman, a World's Finest movie where they have to team up for a big bad. Oh, yes, please. They could still do the versus movie somewhere down the line and come to a place where they disagree on something. And in fact, maybe that would be even more impactful, because we would see them go from friends to then enemies, and they would also be more familiar with each other. Superman would be prepared not to underestimate Batman, and Batman would be very prepared to take on this Superman. But a World's Finest movie where they have to investigate and do something together, I love that. I also wasn't aware how much James Gunn loved the character of Batman.
I gotta tell you, I just love Batman. I love him. I've loved him since I was a little kid. He's one of my favorite characters. I've gone on record in the past when I was at Marvel saying my favorite character is Batman. I love him, you know. And we're gonna do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world.
He says it's his favorite DC character, and well, I guess that explains why we've gotten a lot of confirmed Batman projects, from Batman Brave and the Bold to the Clayface movie, the animated Robin origin story with Jason Todd and Dick Grayson. So as per usual, if you're a Batman fan, you're gonna be eating good, because the guy who runs DC loves Batman. But even with all that said, I'm still just not taking it seriously, because we still have no idea when Batman Brave and the Bold is getting released. We know they just recently recently delayed Matt Reeves' Batman movie, and Andy Muschietti was talking about a bit of a delay on his film. It's still going to be at least 3-4 years. I don't think when that movie is finally getting started and they sit down with the creative team and they're working and figuring out what to do, their first piece of art they're not going to put on the table is a screenshot from Creature Commandos and go, all right, this is what we got to work with. Let's make our live action movie revolve around this image, baby. No, I will be very surprised, especially because I just don't want this to be the Gotham in the DCU. This is such a boring, bland-looking Gotham, man. One thing that really excited me about James Gunn joining into the DCU is he talked about these cities in the DCU feeling like they belong in an alternate reality, that they're not going to mirror what cities look like in our world, and we saw that with Metropolis. It looks nice, and that kind of gave me a lot of hope then for what Gotham would look like, because I've been begging for the days of a Tim Burton or a Joel Schumacher Gotham. I know Joel Schumacher's movies aren't exactly loved, but he made Gotham feel so lively, big, and unique to their character. I wanted that, and when I look at this, I just think to myself, I could drive by that city right now, and that's just kind of bland. And you know, you start talking about the negatives, the things you worry about, and the DC fans out there will start defending it like they're the ones who created it, and I'm like, just be honest, man, you want a better Gotham than this, and that's why I'm saying don't take what you're seeing here as the definitive look of what everything's gonna be like when it comes live action. Because yeah, I would love it if they could do the red skies, the blimps. I'm loving like the lightning and Batman in darkness, and people being afraid of him. Like, yeah, let's keep that tone going then when we move into the DCU. That's probably what I'll take seriously, because James Gunn did say.
And I think it's a great way to show that Batman does exist. He already exists in this universe. Just like when we come to the Superman movie, we see the Superman already exists. He's already known by the people in Metropolis. And so, yeah, he's, you know, we don't need to hear the origin story again. So yeah, that's just a way to introduce that Batman is a part of this universe. He's an important part of this universe, and he has an impact on it.
Along with confirming that they're not just going to rehash the old origin, that this has just been a Batman who's been around for a while. So I don't know, it is really cool to finally get some sort of glimpse of our possible Batman in the DCU, but I think people are already clinging way too hard on this design, this look, and thinking that's going to be the exact design we're getting in 4 to 5 years when it releases, when I just don't think that's going to be the case at all. But hey, look, if I end up being wrong and this turns out to be exactly what Gotham looks like, and this exact silhouette and bulkiness ends up being Batman, whatever the top comment is, as long as it's legal and I won't be canceled off YouTube, I will perform it as my punishment. But hey, remember who told you, this isn't even our first look at Batman. Let's be honest, guys. It's a 1-second cameo. Still got a long time before we see anything Batman related. Let me know your guys' opinions on all this, what you are hoping to get out of it, what you're not, anything and everything. Be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.